We're really excited and really honored to have him here. Please welcome Craig Judelman and Michael Alpert.